Shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. I'm the Podfather, the Messiah of the microphone, the greatest sports recreational podcaster in the world today. And just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby, I'm sorry. This title reigns forever undisputed. For life. Still the current reigning BC champ. And ladies and gentlemen, back on the line. He is the creator of the award-winning Under the Radar, creator of curveballs and chair shots. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Bullet Cast champion, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon Tanguma. How's it going, man?
It's going great. Portugal was a hell of a time. Glad to be back in the States and glad to be talking to you and all the lovely fans out there.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, you know. I had to shout out Baby Huey for stepping in 1 week, and then last week I did the one man show by myself because I did the math. It had been 83 weeks in between me doing regular Bulletcast episodes by myself. How ironic is that?
It's almost it's poetic, you might say.
It is poetic justice. You know, so did you see the Chris Van Vliet interview that I did?
I have not. It's on the list. So, you know, I've been gone for like 2 weeks. A lot of stuff's been piling up that I got to see.
Yeah, well, Chris, he was so awesome for doing that. He's a really nice guy. Gave me some really great advice, and it's a really great conversation. You know, just two guys chopping it up about wrestling. Go check out the Young Bucks interview he just dropped this morning. I have to go listen to that. He did one with Brandon Cutler. He has some stuff coming up with like Dolph Ziggler and potentially Jim Ross. So, Chris Van Vliet, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for doing that. Hope to do it again in person sometime in the near future. All right, well, let's you want to just jump into the week that was in pro wrestling?
Let's go.
All right, so Paco Alonso, he was the owner of CMLL. He unfortunately passed away last week. I know a lot of people have put stuff out on social media about his death. Chris Jericho, he put out a really tearful tribute to his former mentor. Any thoughts on this?
No, I mean, it was a very thoughtful, very emotional video that Jericho put out. Obviously, somebody who discovered Jericho at a young age and gave him one of his first opportunities. So with him passing away, obviously, it meant a lot for Jericho. And even Jericho kind of said that he didn't think it was going to hit him this hard, and he didn't really know why it hit him that hard.
Yeah, he gave Jericho the name, was it Conce de Leon?
Lionheart.
Yeah, so shout out to him, R.I.P., he will be dearly missed. Alright, next up, True Crime Horror Story. This is something that's debuting, I think it's either tonight or tomorrow. And they're going to go through a lot of horror stories and crimes and murders and suicides and homicides that have taken place in American history. One of them that is on the list is the Benoit family murder-suicide.
Well, that's just, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, wrestling story to ever happen. So, and it's, an American crime story as well. So not really a shocker that it gets a spotlight like this on a show like that.
Yeah, you know, if you talk to Bill Apter, he'll tell you that Benoit didn't do it and he was set up.
Well, we're not going to talk about that tomfoolery.
Yeah, we're not going to get into all that. All right, next up, Undertaker to WCW. I don't know if you saw WWE put it on their YouTube channel. I think it was Monday. It was WWE Reimagined, and it was what if Undertaker went to WCW. You got guys like Sting himself talking about it because what if Taker wrestled Sting. You have Sam Roberts talking about it. You have Nigel McGuinness. You have all these people talking about what if Undertaker jumped ship to WCW. Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I have not seen it. I saw the picture that they teased on Instagram, and I just thought that they were going to announce that they're going to go to Saudi Arabia with this match, which I did not want to happen. Luckily, it did not. I thought possibly WWE 2K20, 2K whatever 2020, whatever the hell they call it. That's not the case. So now as you told me what this is, I honestly kind of forgot about the whole Sting Undertaker picture. So now I'm going to have to go look it up on the YouTube after the show.
Yeah, it's only 8 minutes long. It's really short, but it was interesting. I like this new series that they're doing, like the what ifs and stuff like that. Because we as fans, we talk about that stuff all the time, fantasy booking, so to speak. But WWE never really kind of acknowledges stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting. All right, next up, the WWE Draft may be back on the horizon. So rumors have been swirling around that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, because they were they've been brought back to WWE as executive producers for Raw and SmackDown. They're not fans of the brand. They're not fans of the wild card rule. Sorry. So they're saying there's going to be a hard reset of the brand split after SummerSlam to get like two really defined separate rosters. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, myself is not a fan of the wild card rule, so I'm happy that they're not a fan of the wild card rule. It would make sense if you are going to have Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff be on two different shows, have their own spin on things. It makes a lot of sense for them to have their own roster to, have it hard and set so they can know what they want to do. They don't have to coexist. They don't have to worry about what the other person is doing on the other show. But as I said on Under the Radar, at the end of the day, they still have to answer the Vince. So maybe they have a little bit more influence than your regular old creative team member. But as long as Vince is there, I'm still not going to hold my breath for WWE getting remarkably better.
Well, I know you weren't here last week, but last week's Raw, it was different. It was probably the best Raw of 2019. Not gonna lie. And then this week, it was back to the same old ish. But we're gonna get into all that moving forward. I'm a fan of the brand split. I love having two separate rosters, a hardcore like that. And then just to bring up the possibility of trades every 6 months or something like that, or just have the draft once a year, let's make it a hardcore brand split. I'm down for it.
I'm in favor of the brand split with WWE going up to Fox with SmackDown. I mean, now they have to answer to two separate networks. Maybe that hurts the brand split because everybody wants to have the biggest names on each show. But I'm hoping that they stick to their guns. And if Bischoff and Paul Heyman really do have power and they can change some things up, maybe we can see something. And not going to be a full-fledged war going on in the fall, but hopefully we can get 3 really good wrestling shows during the week. Or 4 if you count NXT, because NXT is bloody good.
Absolutely. Paul Heyman, if you can hear this, there's a certain title in the warehouse that just looks so much better than that red thing Seth Rollins is carrying around. Bring that out of the warehouse, the big gold. Make that the premier title on Monday nights again. That's all I'm saying. But moving on, some local tag team talent. Reno Scum. Oi, oi, oi. Brandon's favorite tag team. They are the APW Tag Team Champions after the King of the Indies show this past Friday night, which I was in attendance for. Hell of a show. Congratulations, Dragon Lee. 2-time King of Indies tournament winner. So Reno Scum stopped at a Denny's, I think it was like in Danville or something like that, and their car got broken into. Luster the Legend. He's the big guy with the mohawk. His gear was stolen, and a lot of his valuables were stolen also. So that's not right, guys. Don't break into people's cars and steal things. Brandon, any thoughts on the matter?
I have an alibi. I was still in Portugal. I was probably either boarding my flight or about to board my flight, so you can't blame that on me. I'm just going to say that.
Nobody was thinking that, man.
I'm putting it out there because everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I would never do anything like that to Reno Scum.
Yeah, man, they put on a hell of a tag team match going up against Jacob Fatu. Congratulations to him. He won the MLW World Title this past Saturday night at Kings of the Coliseum in Chicago. He defeated Filthy Tom Lawler. He and Will Hobbs, they put on a hell of a match.
Good for them. Way to carry Reno Scum.
Absolutely. All right, so John Morrison, apparently he is done with Impact Wrestling. Slammiversary was this past weekend. I need to go watch the show. I heard Blanchard and Sami Callihan had a hell of a match, but apparently he is done with Impact. Where do you want to see Johnny Mundo, Johnny gimmick name, land? Where do you want to see him go next?
Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Johnny Mundo, so I'm not going to sit here and say I want to see him in AEW, but I think him going back to WWE could be a nice little bump. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to main event and be a top tier guy, but I think he can be a nice upper mid card, and with WWE kind of lacking in the heel department, I think he can be a kind of good arrogant heel over there.
Oh no, man, throw him back with Miz. I enjoyed the Miz and Morrison tag team from back in the day. I mean, Miz has grown immensely as a performer, and Morrison, he's really kind of just the same.
Well, I mean, I think right now WWE desperately needs singles guys. I think maybe The Miz, that could be a good... Are you saying have him feud with The Miz or have them be a tag team again?
Run the tag team back, and then Morrison turns on Miz this time.
I mean, that could be good, but I just don't think we really have a big nostalgia hit for Miz and Morrison. I don't think people are jonesing for that.
I have the biggest nostalgia hit for Miz and Morrison. Are you kidding me? They were the Dirt Sheet. Oh my God, run that back. Forget Miz TV. That was A1 comedy back on WWE.com back in the day.
I think he might be in the minority on this one, but I mean, good luck on his future endeavors. I don't think we're going to see him in AEW. Honestly, I don't really know if we're going to see him in WWE. Maybe he's going to be one of those guys who just goes around the indie scene, does his thing. Seems as though he's making a good living. He did a movie. He probably does some other non-wrestling things. So I think Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, Johnny whoever, he's going to be fine.
Johnny Gimmick Name. All right, well, moving on from that, Becky Lynch. She is apparently the first woman to be on, or WWE superstar to be on ESPN or something like that, on the cover of one of their magazines. She's with Glow star Allison Brie. Remember, Glow debuts, I think it was October 8th or 9th, back on Netflix for Season 3. What are your thoughts on the man making the cover of ESPN with the woman, Allison Brie?
It's kind of a big deal. I mean, I think it's kind of a big deal that Becky Lynch is on one of the last issues of ESPN the magazine, because they're, I think, closing up shop in the next few months. So it's a big deal that she is on the cover of that as they wind down. So obviously, it's probably a really big deal for them to pick, the certain amount of people on the however many issues they have left, and they decided to put her on there. So kudos to Becky.
Shout out Becky Balboa making it happen. All right, well, moving on from that, Alberto El Patron is apparently going to fight Tito Ortiz in, I forget the promotion it is or the company, but it's going to be a mixed martial arts fight. Any thoughts on this?
I'm just hoping... I'm going to bet on Tito, and I'm definitely going to want to see him lay the smackdown on Alberto El Patron.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tito Ortiz, he's not... he did have a stint in the professional wrestling world going with Impact, and he was going up against the Main Event Mafia, that 2013 incarnation that involved Rampage Jackson. So, it'll be interesting to see these two cross paths. And lastly, Joey Janela versus Enzo Amore. So, shout out to Carlos Mex Mendoza. He's been on the show, former BC champ. He tagged me in something on Facebook. I look at it this morning, and it's a video of Joey Janela and Enzo Amore getting into a screaming match at a Blink-182 concert, of all things. And then I look at the Twitter feed. Apparently, Joey Janela went up to say hi to Enzo. Enzo slapped him in his face, put his hands up, and was ready to go, and Janela backed up. Don't know how true any of that is. What are your thoughts on all of this?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I've seen it on Twitter. I saw the video of... I don't know if there's multiple videos. I saw the video of Enzo squaring up on a Janela. And Janela was honestly kind of walking away from the situation. Not walking away, but backing up from the fight. And I think Janela was someone who was kind of vocal on Twitter and kind of said a lot of ish about Enzo. I don't know if it was during the MSG show or just Enzo in general. Enzo, push came to shove. Enzo kind of looked like he was ready to square up and got in Janela's face a little bit, but I don't know if it's a good look for either guy, because I think it just further cements Enzo as being the guy that we think he is, and then Janela being a person who, talks all this ish, but then he doesn't back it up.
That's not really a good look for Janela, considering he signed with AEW. And then Enzo's just Enzo. He's a real one, That's just what this is now.
For better or for worse, it seems as though he lives the gimmick.
He does live the gimmick. All right, well, let's talk AEW. Let's talk Fight for the Fallen. It is this weekend. The boy Chris Van Vliet will be in attendance. If you're listening to this, you're going to be at the show. Go say hi to him. So I think the biggest match going into this is going to be the Young Bucks versus the Rhodes Brothers. On Being the Elite, Matt and Nick have been making fun of the moment at Double or Nothing, which Brennan and I were both in attendance for. For Cody saying he doesn't need a friend, he doesn't need just a tag team partner, he needs his older brother to go up against the best tag team in the world. And what are your thoughts on the way they've been building this so far, and who goes over?
I think, in terms of prediction, it could go either way. I think the Young Bucks go over just because it's the Young Bucks. They're a tag team. They are, an actual tag team. The Rhodes have, yes, they've been WWE tag team champions before, but they haven't really tagged in a while. I'm going to go with them to win. The build itself, it's been okay. We still have one more episode of Road to Fight for the Fallen on the American Nightmare YouTube channel, so I'm hoping they do something with Cody and Dustin, because Dustin has kind of been MIA since Double or Nothing. Haven't really seen him do anything to put over this match, but it's another kind of B-level pay-per-view, similar to what Fyter Fest was. The build itself for the show hasn't been fantastic, but it's a show. At the end of the day, I'm going to watch it. But I think we're going to wait and see for All Out, and then obviously the whatever show they call it on TNT in October.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Rhodes go over here, You don't want the Bucks to just be kind of undefeated, so to speak, I think Cody and his brother do go over because, Cody wrestled to that time limit draw with Darby Allin at Fyter Fest. By the way, what did you think of the unprotected chair shot to the head?
I was not a fan of the unprotected chair shot just because I don't think that has any time or place in professional wrestling, just because it takes me out of the moment. I go from like, okay, I thought the Darby Allin Cody Rhodes match was the best match of the show and I was really enjoying it, and then Shawn Spears comes out and then he just wallops him in the head with it. I go from enjoying the show to legitimately worrying about Cody and thinking, why the hell did they do that? Because it's a concussion. He can get seriously injured, and he did get seriously injured with that gash in the back of his head. I don't care if it was a gimmick chair or not. I don't think there's any place in wrestling for that. So yeah.
Yeah, Van Vliet was telling me that Tony Khan was pissed after that went down, and go look, like I said, go watch his Young Bucks interview because they go in depth about the quote unquote gimmicked chair shot. But yeah, everybody's become a CTE expert nowadays with what we know of it, and then so I was worried about him, but I don't know. Maybe if they have another gimmicked chair shot, so to speak, maybe it goes better than what that one went. That one was just a freak accident.
I think you can just do the same thing by just kicking him in the nuts, or doing another type of attack, or just him doing a beatdown and him getting his finish over by showing us whatever Shawn Spears' finisher is going to be.
You could, yeah, but this got us talking about it more.
For the wrong reasons.
True.
But I will say, even though I did not like this chair shot to the head, I did like how they framed it. They took it very seriously. He sold it. He was out cold, and I wouldn't have done the steel chair shot to the head, but I would have put it over as strong as they did. So I did like that part of it.
So maybe we should use Singapore canes to the head.
Sure, why not? Or to the shoulder. But pretend like it's to the head.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Hit that trap muscle right there. All right, so what else is happening for Fight for the Fallen? Isn't Kenny Omega wrestling Shima? Isn't that happening?
Yep, I believe so. Kenny's probably going to go over. He should go over. He's one of the top guys in the company. Chris Jericho has a live microphone, so he's going to probably cut a promo on AEW and Hangman Page. Hangman Page having a match with Kip Sabian. Should be a fun match. Hopefully they put Hangman over strong, because I didn't think they did that good of a job putting him over strong at the Fyter Fest show.
Yeah, then you got SCU going up against the Lucha Bros, so that's going to be interesting.
Should be a good match. It should be a good match and a good show. Hopefully they kind of learn from some stuff that worked, some stuff that didn't work at Fight for the Fallen or from Fyter Fest, and implement it to Fight for the Fallen, just because, this is the last show before All Out. And, yeah.
We shall see. All right, also the same night, the Evolve 10-year anniversary show is going to be streamed on the WWE Network. What are your thoughts on that one?
It's petty from WWE. They're knowingly streaming an Evolve show, and they're really putting this show over strong. I think this Evolve show has gotten maybe more publicity than possibly any NXT show. You could argue just because they really like put over the fact of what Evolve is, and even the commentators talked about it on Raw and SmackDown. But it's petty from them. I think Kenny kind of aired his grievances on Twitter a few weeks ago about how this is or how Fight for the Fallen is all the money is going towards a good cause, and WWE is trying to undercut it.
Yeah, then Kenny he deleted that tweet.
But a tweet never dies. You can never delete a tweet. A tweet? Tweet?
A tweet to tweet. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Evolve. It should be a good show. I'm gonna watch both, so it's gonna be interesting, man. And then of course the next night is Extreme Rules, which we're gonna get into that and all that other good stuff. Let's hit this day in wrestling. A Great American Bash, 1988. Ric Flair retained the WCW World Title. WCW Saturday Night, 1993. This is when Mean Gene Okerlund makes his WCW debut. Hogan Knows Best debuts on VH1 in 2005. There was a Raw on this day in 2017. Bray Wyatt beats Seth Rollins. And Gilbert is 60 years old.
Happy birthday to Gilbert, my man.
Happy birthday, Gilbert, my man. Didn't realize he was older than Goldberg.
Well, that's why he's not as successful as Goldberg was.
Of course, absolutely. All right, fan mail. West Side Nikki. Phillip got the fire of Alex Jones. Great job, man. Thank you. Alex Jones. I think he's like some white guy from Dallas. That's nice. Thank you very much.
I don't think that's I don't know if that's a compliment, but
I don't know if it's a compliment. I mean, he said great job, man. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. We'll see. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo, my boy.
There we go. You see, Baby Huey tried to do it, and he tried. He tried to hit that Hootie Hoo, but nobody hits that Hootie Hoo like you.
Or Hootie Hoo.
Oh, of course. I know Phillip always says, where the hell is Buddy Murphy, so I'll just say it here. Where the hell is Brandon Tanguma? P.S. BT, nice under the radar this week.
I'm here.
Hey, he's here. He is here.
I was in Madeira, Portugal, the homeland, home of Cristiano Ronaldo, the best footballer in the world. If you want to go check out some of my photos, you can go check them out on Brandon Tanguma _ on Instagram. That's BrandonTanguma. Shout out, give me a follow, give me a like or two. And that's where I've been.
Yes, follow the boy.
And the Bulletcast.
Oh, of course, and the Bulletcast on Instagram. Jack of all trades. You guys got Chris Van Vliet. Nice boys moving up in the world, I see. Thanks, man. Chris was really great about it. A Hootie Hoo 420 again.
A Hootie Hoo again. Double dipping.
Yes, absolutely. What happened to the WWE TV from last week? Did Heyman get the boot for the job already? I don't know. We're going to get into that when we talk about Monday Night Raw. Alfie Lewis. Kevin Owens is a saint. That is all. Oh, okay. I agree. I think Kevin Owens is a saintly man. We got another one from Copenhagen. The Twitter's firing up here. He hasn't written in a while. Hey guys, sorry for not fan mailing. I've been having DM issues. Okay. The CVV interview was great. Nice work, Phillip. What are your thoughts on Kofi's middle finger to Joe last week? And where's Brandon been? Well, Brandon's been in Portugal. And Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Kofi Kingston middle finger to Samoa Joe on SmackDown last week?
Well, it happened. I'm not going to sit here and say that just because Kofi did a middle finger and maybe some other non-PG things have been happening that they're going to move on to a TV-14 product. I thought it was good. I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh my God, they did a middle finger. That was amazing. The best thing that WWE's ever done. But I did like how they kind of shot it to where, Kofi threw up the bird, but you get the crowd reaction, but you don't actually see what's going on with Samoa Joe's head in the way, and they turn it a little bit so you finally see it. But I thought it was good. Don't think it was mind-blowing or anything, but I think when used sparingly, like what they did here, it can count, just like a steel chair shot to the head.
Boom. Mm-hmm. Way to bring it all back together, man.
That's what I do.
That's why I keep you around, man. That's why I brought you on the BC. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. All right, let's hop into Monday Night Raw. So Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre defeat Roman Reigns and Gary Garbett, who turned
The
out
GOAT.
to be... Wait, what'd you say?
Gary the Goat Garbett.
Oh, Gary the Goat Garbett, who turned out to be Cedric Alexander, former Cruiserweight champion. How did you like all of that played out?
Well, this Raw might have been one of the stupidest Raws in recent memory. Just there was all those backstage segments with Shane and Drew, and they just happened to be filming a janitor, garbage guy, a beer guy, or whoever, and then just happens to be in the background. Shane and Drew see him, and they go and talk to them. Then they go find Gary. Gary, they talk to him, and for some strange reason, Shane and Drew want to put a mask on him. For what reason, I don't know. They didn't really make any sense. They didn't really explain it. And then, of course, Gary comes out in a mask. We all know what's coming. It ends up being, what's his face? Cedric Alexander. And Cedric Alexander ends up losing. And so the plan to double cross the heels didn't even work. And yet the baby faces are all laughing and smiling at the end of the day. It made no sense. Everything of it made no sense. And why is Shane being able to pick his opponent's partner and stuff like that? Well, everything of it was terrible.
Shane is the boss's son, and he's the best in the world, so, you know. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Cedric Alexander. He sold the hell out of that Claymore kick, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why Roman was smiling with Cedric at the end of the day. You know, you just lost. So, that didn't make any sense to me. The match was fine. You know, Shane McMahon, he's the best in the world. Of course he's going to win. That's just how this works.
Of course, because he is the best in the world at what he does.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-totin'-lutely. Alright, next up, we have Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch defeat Andrade and Zelina Vega in a mixed tag team elimination match. What do you think of this?
In a mixed match tag elimination match to where only the men can face the women and the women can face the women. So after Becky Lynch beats Zelina Vega, which should technically should be giving Seth and Becky the advantage, it just ends up being Almas and Seth, which actually favors Almas because technically Zelina Vega is kind of dead weight because she's not really that good of a wrestler, and this also did make no sense in these rules. I think they're trying to get too cute with these whole eliminations and not wrestling during commercial breaks, and I think they kind of wrote themselves in the corner before they even realized how stupid these rules were.
Yeah, man, I don't know what Vince just thought of this, to have no wrestling during commercial breaks, because sports, they don't play during commercial breaks, but the guy's been he's been in this business for like 40 years. He just thought of this now.
And I don't understand why they can't be like New Japan, where New Japan, yes, during the taped shows they do commercials, but on the live shows, like at the G1 Climax on Saturday, when the wrestling is going on in the ring, there's no commercials. It just goes for, the 15, 20 minutes, however long it takes. There's no commercials. I know that's kind of hard, especially with WWE. They've kind of structured and they've gotten money from the ads already, so they have a certain amount of time they have to fill, but I think they can write around this and they can do other things besides these contrived, 2 out of 3 falls, elimination tag matches, and all these other type of gimmickry.
Yeah, I think the no commercials during wrestling could work. They've done no commercial-free Raws before, so I mean, they'd have to work that out with their sponsors in the USA and eventually Fox Networks. But I could see that happening in the near future. But the match was... It was a match, Zelina Vega did her usual Zelina Carnarana off of the apron onto Andrade's opponent, like she did in NXT, and she currently does in the main roster. So it happened.
It did happen, and then the heels of Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans just lay Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch out, just building to that illustrious mixed match tag match.
We're gonna talk about that when we do the preview predictions for Extreme Rules. But Paul Heyman comes out, cuts a promo. He says Brock Lesnar this Sunday is cashing in on either Seth Rollins or Baron Corbin or Kofi Kingston. That's not a prediction; it's a spoiler. Yeah.
I did like the line from Paul Heyman saying that I've been telling the truth long enough that I'm able to get away with the lie this time. So I thought that was a nice little Paul Heyman-ism there, but just kind of another hold court promo from Paul Heyman as we just wait and see what the hell Brock Lesnar is doing.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen. Cashes in on Fox, cashes in on Shane McMahon, all this other good stuff. What else happened on Monday Night Raw? The Usos and The Miz go on to defeat the Revival and Elias in a 2-on-1, 2-1 in a God, was it 2 out of 3 falls match? Yeah, that's what that is.
Because you can't have those commercials during the wrestling.
Absolutely not. Any thoughts on that?
And just a kind of run-of-the-mill 6-man tag. We've seen this before. Nothing really to write home about.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio makes his return to WWE after injury. Has an open challenge. Bobby Lashley answers it 1 week after being put through the stage and sparks and pyro flying everywhere at the hands of Braun Strowman. He dismantles Mysterio, beats him, and then just kind of beats him up on the stage.
I didn't really like this. I thought they could have Lashley and Braun be written off for at least past Extreme Rules. You can have them wrestle at, whatever SummerSlam, or maybe build us up to a Raw to where they have their match. But they have the big angle, and they're just going to turn around, less than 2 weeks from now, or less than 2 weeks from the angle, and now they're going to wrestle again. And then you have Rey Mysterio, who's coming off an injury. And then here's Bobby Lashley coming off of what would seemingly be a more serious injury, comes back in 6 days as Rey Mysterio's been gone for like 6 weeks. And then just comes and squashes Rey. Not the best use of Rey. I don't know why they used Rey to, put over Lashley this strong. I think you could have just done that with somebody else. Apollo Crews or somebody.
Because Bobby Lashley's the almighty. That's why.
Right. I mean, Rey Mysterio has just been so underused, I think, since he came back to WWE. He's a legend. Yes, he might not be, what he once was 15, 20 years ago, but I think you can still use him in a high legend spot, which they have not done that.
I don't know, man. He still performs pretty well for being like 45 years old. Like he's still hitting the greatest hits and even more.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like he's still pretty damn good for especially how old he is and how much wear and tear he has on his body. WWE should be using him more because he's a legend and they don't really treat him like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe when that hard brand split happens, if it does happen after SummerSlam, then maybe Rey will be used in a more prominent role. I don't know. All right, the Street Profits, they cut promos on Monday Night Raw talking about Extreme Rules. What do you think of the Street Profits being on Raw the last couple weeks?
Well, there have been actually explained why the Street Profits are on Raw. They're just there. And then this week they're just like hype men for WWE, just like spewing, not like catchphrases, but they're just kind of corporate shills for WWE. And I mean, I don't know why they're there. I don't understand what they're really doing or what their whole purpose is. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But at least they're wearing the tag team championships, unlike the Viking War Raiders experience.
Yeah, better NXT Tag Team Champions than the Viking War Raider experience. You know what I noticed? Street Profits are like a less offensive Crime Time.
I can see. I mean, like a less stereotyped Crime Time.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Crime Time. They won the the VIP Tag Team Championships in Dallas, Texas last week. Shout out to those boys.
Still kicking.
Still kicking, Yo, pop a 40 and check your rollies. It's Crime Time. All right, moving on from that, Cesaro defeats No Way Jose. Good, glad. No Way Jose, go work at McDonald's. I'm done with you.
Wow. I think No Way Jose used in a different role could be useful.
Hey, I will say this. I'm glad he got those neon braids out of his head. He looked ridiculous.
I mean, there's only room for one of those, and Naomi does it a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was up with that. Just go back to the afro and the camo pants. I'm like, okay, this is the look I can get behind. But still, I don't know what was going on with those neon braids. They were scary. And then Ricochet goes on to defeat Luke Gallows in a match, and he has another one right after that with Carl Anderson, and he beats him with the 630 senton. He beats the Good Brothers, and then Of course, the club attacks after because AJ Styles turns heel last week. AJ's going to tease the second rope Styles clash, and then AJ's like, I'm a nice guy. I want you at 100% this Sunday. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
Still not exactly putting the Good Brothers over strong with both of them losing to Ricochet. Yes, Ricochet is getting a pretty good push, but I would hope they protect the Good Brothers a little bit more than that, especially since they've been losing a lot going into this reunion with AJ Styles. But AJ and Ricochet are, I guess, on the higher on the pecking order than the Good Brothers are. But good, solid beatdown, getting AJ kind of over as a heel. I think they've done a good job these past few weeks.
Yes, I think they have. Heel AJ is always fun. Just give me that Bullet Club AJ haircut, though. Just trim it up a little bit. I'd be down for it, man.
You want awkward hair stage AJ?
I mean, it's either that or the clean-cut AJ we had in TNA.
Maybe he can just, cut a few inches off.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find debuting AJ.
Yeah, that was basically the Bullet Club haircut, bro.
Okay, maybe not like debuting AJ. Maybe like a couple months after that, because we don't want to like a box. We don't want like a box haircut or a bowl cut.
I don't know, man.
We want AJ to look decent.
I dug the Bullet Club haircut, man. I dug it. I really enjoyed it. All right, Nikki Cross, she beats the clock, defeats Dana Brooke, and she gets to pick the stipulation for Alexa Bliss versus Bayley for the SmackDown Live Women's title. And the stipulation is 2-on-1 handicap match for the title. So basically, if Cross pins Bayley, does Cross win the title?
That's, I don't really understand. I mean, that's not a stipulation. That's just a whole nother match. A stipulation, what I would think of is, adding hardcore ladder or, tables match or something to like that. She could have made it a no disqualification match, which allows Nikki to get into the ring and just beat up Bayley and just do whatever the hell she wants. That would make a little bit more sense than this whole 2-on-1 handicap situation. But they want all this drama between Nikki and Alexa, so they do that. So just another little tick on the box or on the board of this Raw, making absolutely no sense.
Yeah, it's something, man. It is something. Don't know. We're gonna talk about that more when we get to Extreme Rules. The Viking War Raider Experience. They defeat Colin Justin and Devin Justin, enhancement talent, the Justin brothers.
But not related.
Not related. No, absolutely not.
Good for the Viking War Raider Experience for them to get a victory on television. Kind of spinning their wheels a little bit, but I guess it's better than them just being MIA.
Hey, no
like
lie.
AOP. Ooh, I still got it.
Oh, there you go. Hey, no lie. If somebody announced the Viking War Raider Experience like that on TV, I'd pop huge for that.
A little bit of a tongue twister there. We don't want Mike Rome, popping a vocal cord like he did on the Best in the World Shane McMahon introduction.
I mean, we just have a backup somebody to do that because Mike Rome. Actually, I prefer Greg Hamilton just doing the Best in the World gimmick. I do.
Just have him travel to Raw and SmackDown to do it.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
I think we need JoJo back to see how JoJo would do it.
Or get Lillian Garcia. Just bring her back.
Or Brandy.
Eden Styles.
I don't think Eden Styles is coming back anytime soon.
No, she's booked other places. She's all elite from what I hear. All right. Also, the 24/7 champion Drake Maverick. He's been hiding out backstage. He brought his wife to Raw for their honeymoon, I guess. And by the way, his wife is very gorgeous, But what are your thoughts on Drake Maverick as 24/7 European champion?
I mean, I love it as long as he keeps bringing his wife to TV. I'm just going to keep it at that.
Oh, okay. Hey-o. All right, let's get into SmackDown Live.
And also, shout out Drake Maverick. I don't know if we're going to talk about this, but shout out to him just hiding underneath the table at catering during the whole Ember Moon absolution or whatever the hell they're calling it backstage segment. Little Easter egg there for you.
That was funny. That was. All right, so Kevin Owens, he kickstarts SmackDown. Well, there's a video of Dolph Ziggler cutting a promo, and then of course Kevin Owens, he drives up, and then they have a scuffle out in the parking lot. Shane sends Kevin Owens home. KO interrupts, and he cuts this amazing promo talking about how Shane McMahon has gotten more TV time than him. Throws out Buddy Murphy. You know, I'm a big mark for Buddy Murphy. Throws out Liv Morgan. Throws out all these other people, and it was really fascinating to me, man. I dug all of it. What did you think about the Kevin Owens opening promo for SmackDown Live?
I really did enjoy it. Maybe not as much as you or a lot of other people out there, just because I'm not going to sit here and get drool over. Oh my God, he said all these shoot things, but I liked it because there was shoot comments thrown in there, but it was weaved in throughout the worked narrative of SmackDown of Shane McMahon taking over and using up all this airtime when Liv and Buddy Murphy and Asuka and Kairi Sane should be on TV more often. So I did really much enjoy that. I do like Kevin Owens being a babyface, but one thing I didn't like is how Kevin Owens was the babyface for the 2 weeks. Then he turns heel for, I don't know, a month, and now he's back to being babyface. So almost Big Show-esque how many times Kevin Owens has turned within the last month or two. Not a big fan of that, but hopefully this means Kevin Owens is going to get a sustained push, but also I'm not the biggest fan of heel authority figures, and we're going to get Kevin Owens trying to do his best Stone Cold impression, which it worked the first time. Don't know if it's going to work the second time.
Yeah, I mean it's I really popped for the promo because he said Buddy Murphy, and God knows I love Buddy Murphy. Apparently he and Ali have been having these awesome matches before SmackDown comes on for the dark match before the show, so maybe we'll get him on TV now. But yeah, I mean, the whole turning back and forth heel and face, it's just whatever the office wants, If the office needed me to turn heel right now, I would, even though I'm already the biggest heel in the Bay Area because I favor Canada over the Warriors,
I'm wondering if maybe this is a way to introduce Eric Bischoff as kind of the babyface authority figure, to where I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of having authority figures, fight for power. I'd rather just see wrestlers fight in the ring to prove who's the best. But this could be a way of having, Kevin Owens being Eric Bischoff's guy going up against Drew McIntyre, who's Shane McMahon's guy, and they fight for power at SmackDown on SummerSlam. Maybe it could lead that way. I don't know, but just a little idea thrown out there.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to pop huge for when I hear that Eric Bischoff theme song on SmackDown. I will lose my ish.
I mean, I could go either way. I don't really care if Eric Bischoff is an authority figure, or not an authority figure, but it's just a character on SmackDown. He can be in front of the camera and behind the camera. Just behind the camera, it doesn't really make any difference to me.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's all going to be good fun moving forward. All right. Also in the main event, Roman Reigns. Roman must pose, and he does after he beats Dolph Ziggler in the main event. R.I.P. to my boy Ziggler. Just go back to the comedy, my guy. It's they teased you in the upper echelon. It didn't happen. A whole kerfuffle happens at the end of SmackDown with Elias and Drew McIntyre. KO's dropping stunners like he's Austin in '98. Yeah.
It was an okay match. Nothing to really write home about. The Kevin Owens dropping the stunner on Shane was cool. As I said, kind of reminiscent of 20 plus years ago with Austin and McMahon. But I thought the whole story of Shane trying to look for a new main event, I thought he already had a main event in his lap with Nakamura and Finn Balor. I thought that could have been a good, solid main event from the kayfabe standpoint. But, as you said, Roman must pose. Roman has to look good at the end of the show. And once again, Undertaker nowhere to be seen these past few weeks. But I'm hoping that this tag match is not the main event of Extreme Rules.
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. After Taker's last performance, this may be a lot better given the guys that he's going to be in the ring with. So we'll see. But yeah. Speaking of Nakamura and Finn Balor, let's talk about that. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats the Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor clean in the middle of the ring. It was great to see these guys back on TV, man. I haven't seen Nakamura in like 5 months. That's what it feels like.
Exactly. It was a good It was a great. I mean, it was a really good TV match. Just 10 minutes, nothing spectacular, but it was really good for what it was, and for both these guys who haven't really been on TV at all the past few weeks for Finn, and as you said, the past few months for Shinsuke. I thought this was a nice, reintroduction of both these guys, and pretty much Nakamura went over clean, which puts Finn in jeopardy going on later down the line. I don't even know. Are they having a match at Extreme Rules?
It's rumored. I don't have it on the rundown, but it's rumored that it might happen.
I do think this is a good first step between these guys in the feud. In the end, if Nakamura, let's say he wins and he does get a little bit of a push, that's a good sign. But just have to wait and see what they do with this, because I'm not going to sit here and get too excited over 1 week of TV. I need a little bit more evidence that they're going to push both these guys and push this feud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just look at Mojo Rawley. Where the hell is he?
He's looking at the man in the mirror. But yeah, let's talk about Samoa Joe and his backstage promo targeting Kofi Kingston, talking about how Kofi's needed help and how he's going to take the title from him this Sunday. What you got?
Good, solid heel promo from Joe. I like it when Joe doesn't yell at the top of his lungs. I think when he's cool, when he's bull bombing Belected, that's when I think the best Samoa Joe is, and the scariest Samoa Joe can be. So I really enjoyed this promo.
Absolutely, man. We'll see what Joe gets into this Sunday. So apparently Cesaro was the one that knocked on Aliester Black's door last week. So Aliester versus Cesaro. That's interesting.
I'm looking forward to this. It's a good introductory match for Aliester Black. I assume he's going to win. They've been pushing Cesaro a little bit these past few weeks, which makes sense now with him going to face Aliester Black. So when Aliester Black hopefully does beat Cesaro, it means a little bit more compared to if Cesaro just kind of came out of the blue and he was off, just left the bar and hasn't been doing anything on TV. So I did like that, of just building up Cesaro a little bit so Aliester Black can gain a little bit from it.
Yeah, we're going to get into that when we talk about Extreme Rules. So the SmackDown Live Women's Championship contract signing between Nikki Cross and Bayley, because Alexa Bliss was not there yet again. It was okay. It was fine. Do you have any quick thoughts on it?
It was fine. I really do like... I'm kind of surprised that Nikki Cross has gained so much mic time, because I know how picky Vince McMahon can be with his accents on TV.
Yeah. I like Nikki Cross on the mic. I enjoy it. I do. Then Cross goes on to defeat Carmella, because Carmella, money is Mella. Mella is money. Gatekeeper, Gucci.
Mm-hmm. Good, solid match. Nobody got hurt, so I can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. Next, the Tag Team Summit between the New Day of Big E and Woods, Tag Team Champions of Bryan and Rowan, and then Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker. Big E dropping the line of, when I heard three-way, that's not what I thought of. I popped huge for that. I don't know why. It was funny as hell.
Shout out Xavier Woods.
Shout out Xavier Woods, yes. And then we have a triple threat, and Otis defeats Xavier Woods and Daniel Bryan.
A good, solid match with Otis going over, pinning Xavier Woods. I thought Otis, in his little... He didn't have a whole lot to talk about, but I thought him doing the whole hip swivel gimmick, stealing it from New Day, was entertaining. So I thought they got their characters over. It was good. Solid segment, just kind of moving the story on down the line.
Yes. All right, Paige and the Kabuki Warrior. Jesus Christ, why is that their name? Oh, God. Paige and the Kabuki Warriors.
Because they're Japanese, Phillip.
Yes, they threaten the Iconics. No? Really? Nothing?
I promise I did the pose.
We'll probably do a video next week just so I can see the pose. I popped for the pose.
All right.
Any thoughts on this weird segment or encounter?
It was what it was. I wish the Kabuki Warriors would get more of a push. I do like Paige in the managerial role. If she's not going to be able to wrestle, I think she's a great talker, and I think she showed it here, where she was a good foil to the Iconics here. So Hopefully, we get more of this in the coming weeks.
Yep, that's all we. I guess that's all we can ask for, really. All right, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville challenge Ember Moon to a match next week. They tell her to go get a partner.
I wonder who that partner is going to be.
Liv Morgan. I don't know. That's all I can really think of.
Maybe I honestly don't really know the SmackDown women's division off the top of my head. Maybe it's Charlotte. Who knows? We haven't seen Charlotte in a while.
Well, that is very true. You know, she's been on a little hiatus. All right, and then we have Shelton Benjamin. He has another cryptic interview where he's asked a question, no sells it, and then just walks away.
I don't know what they're doing here, which I guess is a good thing. I'm intrigued to see if Shelton finally gets the push. I've been wanting him to get a push since he re-signed with WWE all those years ago. And I don't know if this is a Eric Bischoff thing or a Vince McMahon thing, but hopefully Shelton does something. Because I think if he's like the next foil for Kofi Kingston or for Kevin Owens, I think that's a good, solid feud.
Yeah, I've been wanting Shelton to get that WWE title push for like 12 years, so we'll see. We shall see. All right, Extreme Rules. Let's get our predictions in. Title's not on the line. The Bulletcast title just doesn't
Typical.
No, well, it's not typical. Hold on. All right, it just doesn't feel worthy enough to be put on the line for Extreme Rules. Okay, that's just it, man.
Fine, whatever.
You know, we have All Out, we have SummerSlam, we have that NXT Takeover Toronto or whatever. August is going to be full of title defenses for the BC title. Okay.
Okay.
If this build interests me,
you couldn't give me a birthday present with a title shot. It's okay.
When is your birthday?
It's July 18th. It's next week, but
what?
It's whatever.
Your birthday is July 18th?
Yeah.
What? You know what? We'll put it on the line.
Oh, isn't that so sweet?
Here we go. We will put the
I just have to guilt you into title shots.
Whoa. That's not the case. All right. Now let me make a note here. Extreme Rules predictions. You know, I give back. You know, I take care of the people.
You take care of the people. I appreciate it. And if people want to take care of me, my DMs are open. You want to slide me some, gift cards or anything, that's what else. July 18th, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Wow. We may have to do the pod on Thursday. All right.
Maybe.
So, the Cruiserweight Championship, Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. I got Gulak retaining.
I'll go with Gulak as well. I was very surprised that I even picked Gulak and he won last time, so I'm going to stick with my boy.
All right. Next up, we have Aliester Black going up against 1/3 of the main event Muscleman and Cesaro.
I'm going to go with Black. He hasn't been on TV forever. He's finally getting a push. And he's finally having his first match, so hopefully Black goes over clean. Hopefully this can be a really good match. I'm excited.
Yeah, I picked Black. I mean, Cesaro, he can suffer this loss. He'll be fine. It's not really going to hurt him or anything. All right, coming up next, we have the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Revival defend against the Usos. I got the Revival.
I will take the Revival as well. I know this is invigorating podcasting right here with the title online. We keep picking the same people, but I just think that they really haven't been putting too much emphasis on this feud. Have the Revival just kind of hold on until, maybe the Viking Raider War Experience is the next people to dethrone them.
Absolutely. All right, what do I have on here next? We have the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Bayley goes up against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I got Bayley. I just don't see it happening.
I think they're really heavily hinting at Sasha Banks coming back. I think they might be hitting us over the head a little bit too much with it. I think they want to do some chicanery with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, so I'm going to go with Alexa and or Nikki Cross to get the victory.
All right. Okay. I got you. I see you. All right, next up, LeBron Strowman goes up against Bobby Lashley. Last man standing. Oh, I don't even know, man. Who do
You know,
you?
these last man standing matches is kind of an easy way to defeat the Giants. So if Braun Strowman's gonna lose, it could be in a match like this. He is injured, so there is the excuse there. But I think in the end, Braun Strowman's gonna win.
You have Strowman. I'll go Lashley.
Okay, there we go.
Braun, and then I'll put Lashley. All right. Next up, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We have Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending against the New Day and Heavy Machinery. I want to go Bryan and Rowan. I really do.
Well, I'll make your decision a little bit easier. I will go with Bryan and Rowan as well, with Otis pinning Xavier Woods. I think WWE isn't going to have them win the week before just to have them win again on Extreme Rules. So I think maybe we get kind of the same finish to where either Daniel or Rowan pins Xavier to retain.
I'll go New Day.
Okay, so hopefully Heavy Machinery doesn't win.
All right, next up we have the big dog, Roman Reigns, teaming up with the Dead Man, The Undertaker, going up against the best in the world, Shane McMahon, and the Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Tag team, no holds barred. Shane has been winning a lot. Shane hasn't lost at all in 2019. Actually, no, he lost once. Never mind. But he wasn't pinned. But yeah, so it's interesting.
You got to make Roman look good. That's what I keep saying in this feud against Shane McMahon. But Super Shane O'Mac
I don't know,
just
man.
keeps winning.
I'm going to go Shane and Drew.
And then I will go with Roman and The Undertaker. I don't really know what to expect from this match. I mean, if you really want to put over Drew strong, you have him defeat The Undertaker. I just don't know. I just don't know if that's something that WWE is ready to pull the trigger on.
All right, the WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. Kofi wins. It's just not going to happen for Joe.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, this is almost kind of the same time period last year where Samoa Joe was going up to face AJ Styles. So I think Kofi's going to win. I don't really know who Kofi's, SummerSlam opponent is. Maybe it is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe does something dastardly to Kofi Kingston, and that's, we really get some heat put on this feud. But I still think Kofi is going strong. Maybe not as hot as he was coming out of WrestleMania, but I think he's still going to stay strong as the WWE champion.
Yeah, it's something. My brain is telling me Kofi, but my heart, listen to me, people, my heart is saying Joe. So we'll see. I might be partially right. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, moving on from that, the United States Championship. Ricochet goes up against the phenomenal AJ Styles. That's interesting.
I think I'm going to go with AJ here. I think you need to put AJ over strong as a heel. Obviously, I don't think he's going to win clean. We're going to get some chicanery with the Good Brothers in the corner of AJ Styles. So I'm going to go with AJ to win here. And then maybe you build up a rematch at SummerSlam and Ricochet can, conquer the mountain that is the club.
Yeah. I got Styles also. He just freshly turned heel. I don't see it happening. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, it is the winner-takes-all match for the WWE Universal and Raw Women's Championships. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch defend their titles against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Extreme Rules match. You know what? I'm picking Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. I'm going out there.
Okay, and I will take that easy dub that is Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch because, God, we do not need Baron Corbin to be the Universal Champion.
I'm putting this out there to the universe. I'm ready for a Corbin title run. I've been ready. All right?
You ready for him to tear the house down with Roman Reigns?
Oh, of course. The other guy said that.
Still waiting on that. Still waiting on that to happen. He said that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
No, but if Corbin wins, you have to eat your hat.
Okay, I'll eat my hat.
Make it a A's hat. I know you have a lot of those.
We can when we do the post show, I'll we can video chat it and I can live stream me eating my hat.
Oh yeah, I think from now on our recaps of pay-per-views and such will just be video. That's the way that people get to see us. They get to see us once a month.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Maybe twice a month, with AEW.
Oh, of course, gotta throw out those AEW recaps. All right, so this is our predictions for. Do you want to just throw Finn Balor and Nakamura in there also, just in case it happens?
I mean, if it happens, I think
I'll go.
we're gonna.
I'll go Finn.
Yeah, I think I'll keep Finn. Maybe we get double count out, disqualification or something. I think Finn holds on to that title.
Yeah, we'll just throw that in there real quick, just in case. All right, so I have Gulak and Finn Balor, Aliester Black, Revival, Bayley, Lashley, New Day, Shane and Drew, Kofi, Styles, Corbin, and Evans. Brandon has Gulak, Finn, Black, Revival, Bliss and Cross, Strowman, Bryan and Roman and Undertaker, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, and Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. That's it, man. We'll see this Sunday.
Feeling very good. You went out on a limb with the whole Baron Corbin Lacey Evans thing.
Hey, man. If I'm right, I'm going to shoot that from... I will get on my roof and yell that to the world. I'll do it.
You're taking those Steph Curry shots where it's like, what the hell is he doing? But it goes in, so...
You never know. Superstar Spotlight. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I have one this week, man.
Well, I have one. I'm going to go off the beaten path, and we're going to talk about this in my match pick of the week. Not exactly the match, but the G1 Climax is underway, and on Saturday in Dallas, Texas, Kenta made his illustrious return to pro wrestling, his first match ever in New Japan, and he took on Kota Ibushi, and he beat Kota Ibushi to get those 2 points. I'm going to go with Kenta as my Superstar Spotlight.
Wow, okay, alright. I still haven't seen the G1. Still got to watch some things. But the promo pick of the week, Kevin Owens promo from SmackDown this week. It was a simple pick. I enjoyed it. I popped for it a couple times, especially the Buddy Murphy part. Brandon, he's already given his take on it, so let's just go to our closing match pick of the week. Brandon, take it away.
So my closing match pick of the week, still sticking with the G1 Climax Night 1 from Dallas, Texas, Block A action. Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer, the first match of the G1 Climax tournament. I thought this was a fantastic match, and maybe the best opening match to a G1 Climax ever. Quite possibly. I've been singing the praises of Will Ospreay and Lance Archer, someone maybe kind of under the radar, you might say, someone who doesn't really have a lot of indie cred, but I thought Will Ospreay had a great match, and I saw this on Twitter, and it made a whole lot of sense. Everyone's talking about the debate between Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay, who is the better wrestler. I'm just going to say Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer was a infinitely better match than Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin.
Up until Sunday night, when Baron Corbin tears the roof down with the man and the man's man.
Of course, and that man's man shirt is atrocious. I hope that sells 0 copies.
God, I hope that it. You know what? It's the shirts on WWE shop that are like $4.95 that will never appear again. Those are the ones you got to buy. Like that Y2 AJ shirt. I wish I had bought it. I really do. I wish I had bought that thing, man.
I'm more of a Throwback Thursday type of shirts. I like the retro shirts.
Well, if you like retro shirts, go on Instagram, follow the boy Ted. His Wrestling 4 is in the number 4 sale on Instagram. He has a lot of retro shirts. He has a nice Eddie Guerrero shirt from like 2000 that's up for sale right now.
I follow him. Definitely, I love watching his story. He posts like basically everything he gets and the prices. One of these days I might pull the trigger on it. That's also kind of the reason I like every single time I go to a WWE show. I always got to buy the event shirt because you never know. 20 years from now I might just pull that thing out and people are going to be like, damn, it's a badass shirt.
Absolutely, man. Shout out Wrestling for Sale. I have a WWF beanie from 99 and it's A1, I might add. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram, The BulletCast, YouTube channel, The BulletCast. Email us bulletcast2 and the number 2 sweet SWEET@gmail.com. We're on 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon. We have a Pro Wrestling Tee store, ProWrestlingTees/BulletCast. Please, I bought one of the shirts already. It's very nice in person, I'm not going to lie. Next time Brandon and I meet up, possibly go to the APW show at the beginning of August. Maybe he and I will meet up for that, and he'll be able to see it in person.
Possibly.
Yes. But, yeah, guys, they're $19.99. Go buy some. We have to sell 25 so we can get more designs up there. I got the boy Paul Playley and SF working on some more designs. And shout out to the boy in Brightest Day X on Instagram. He's up in North Virginia, and he works on our interview designs and some other designs as well for us. But yeah, that's going to do it. The next time you will hear Brandon and myself will be for Sunday's recap of Extreme Rules right after the show's over. And the next time you will hear me will be even sooner than that. I will be dropping a Black Power ranking since the boy in Brightest Day X gave me a Black Power ranking logo that I will be using for the foreseeable future. So yeah, 5 pods this week from the BC. That's a lot of content, man.
Maybe we can also sneak in some Fight for the Fallen talk on our Extreme Rules post show.
Honestly, hey man, I have to work during Fight for the Fallen, so yeah.
Or maybe your boy just does a solo one. Who knows?
Wow, that's
maybe. Who knows? Stay tuned.
That hurts, All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the BC Brandon. I'll talk to you Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
This has been the broadcast. Thank you for listening.